ready to work. Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to the farm. It's a chilly day here on the Stoney Ridge Farm in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and today we're going to be reworking the driveway. In other words, we're prepping our driveway for the winter months. We've got some wet months ahead, and we want to bring all the gravel that's pushed its way to the outside of the driveway into the center of the driveway and level it off. We've got a couple tractors here we're going to be working with. We'll take you through, we'll show you how to use a box scrape and how to level it up and how to use it to make your driveway pop. We'll also show you how to use two different types of landscape rakes on your tractor to help with this process. So what we're going to do is rake gravel from the edges and then pull it back level. All right, come along, we'll have some fun. Woo! First of all, guys, if this is your first time to the YouTube channel, thank you so much for coming. Please don't forget to pound that like button, jump in, subscribe to the channel. There's all sorts of fun stuff, educational stuff, farm stuff, and just all around country boy stuff here on the farm to see. What we have here are two different tractors. We're going to walk around each tractor and I'm going to describe the implements that we're going to be using on this job. Now, you don't need a Ventrac tractor to do this, but I wanted to showcase how capable the landscape rake is on the front of this machine. And as we use the landscape rake on this machine, we'll be utilizing the front and the rear in order to do double duty with this little machine. It's a workhorse. We'll look at the Ventrac first, then we'll go to the John Deere 5065. We'll look at the box blade from Titan Attachments, and we'll show you how to set it up to make your driveway nice, neat, and level. Okay, so first of all, if you're new to the channel and you've never seen this Ventrac tractor, this is a Ventrac 45Y. It's a 24.8 horsepower diesel engine little workhorse machine. Now, we just installed the 3-point attachment here on the rear so we can run 3-point implements. It doesn't have a PTO on the rear, but we can run 3-point implements. And this is the landscape rake from Titan Attachments. There'll be a coupon code for every Titan Attachments critter that we use on the farm today, so that's cool. This is Rakey Bobby, and that's Big Bubba, the box scrape. That's the coupon codes too. Pretty cool. So what we're gonna do here with the landscape rake, we're gonna raise this up and we're gonna angle it in. In other words, we're gonna go down the right-hand side of the driveway with this landscape rake and work hand in hand with this landscape rake. And both landscape rakes will move this way and this way. This one is fully hydraulic, while I have to get off the tractor in order to adjust that one, except for with the 3-point. And there's a hydraulic top link on this so that I can move the 3-point just like that with the switch right there in the operator station. So if you look at the footprint of this little tractor, you'll see that the Rakey Bobby rake on the back, the landscape rake, is a little bit wider than the landscape rake on the front. As we angle this in, we're gonna go hit the edge of the driveway and pull all the rock that's piled up on the edge of the driveway. And we'll go down and we'll take a look at all that stuff and we'll explain to you what's happening with our driveway and why we need to maintain it like this. Every year, maybe 3 times a year, I go through the driveway and fix it up. So we'll take this landscape rake and that landscape rake and angle them both the same direction. If you don't have a Ventrac tractor and you're going to be using just a standard landscape rake or scrape blade, this would totally apply to either one, but I prefer raking the rocks in before I start using my box blade. You'll get some cool drone footage and see this thing at work as we're working the driveway out, and you'll kind of get a little bit of before and after as we're working out here on the farm. It's going to be fun. So this is our John Deere 5065 tractor. It's a 63 PTO horsepower tractor that we got from John Deere. I think it's a 2014 model. Been very happy. It's a four-wheel drive model, and four-wheel drive is almost a must for the amount of rock that we'll be moving. So if we're moving a bunch of rock with this big old box scrape right here, we're dragging, we're going to be digging very deep into the gravel, pulling big loads, and that four-wheel drive really comes in handy. Let's take a look at Big Bubba the box scrape. So this is Big Bubba the box scrape. Big Bubba is somewhere around an 8-foot box scrape blade. I'll post a link down the video description for you. This thing is designed to move material and level material. In other words, it'll move dirt, it'll move rock, it'll move land and level land out for you. So if you've got a really rough spot and you want to smooth it out, like an old garden spot or something like that, you can smooth it out with Big Bubba right here. So let me show you how Big Bubba works. We'll explain all the little integral parts to this machine, and then we'll show you how we set it up and level it to get it ready to work on the driveway. So Big Bubba has several parts. These are tines that go down in the ground. Right now they're flipped in the upright position, but I'll take one off and show you real quick how they work. So if I was going to use this, I'd take it off and flip it up under, and basically that would rip the ground up. So these are tines or rippers. Now we're not going to use that today, but if you got a driveway that's old and really needs some work, and you know there's some and you know there's some rock there, then you can reuse that old rock by using these rippers and ripping up the ground underneath, and then the box scrape will box up or scoop up all of that rock and smooth it out and turn it into a brand new driveway again. Pretty cool. I always say if I had 3 implements to keep on the farm, number 1 would be the bucket on the tractor, number 2 would be the box scrape, and number 3 would be the bale spear to feed the cows. So what we have here right now is the blade. This is the blade portion, and it's an interchangeable blade. You can actually flip it over once it starts to wear on the bottom. There's another blade identical to this on the other side. So this side digs and scoops, and basically there'll be rock piled up inside this box blade right here, and then on the back side I'll take you around and show you that. So on the back side of this Titan box blade is another blade. What happens is the rock builds up in here and slowly comes out from under the bottom underneath this blade, and that makes a nice level surface that comes out from under the back of the box blades. In other words, we're moving materials with this and spreading materials. We'll float this along the ground on a level plane and level our driveway out. Now, if you only had a box blade, you can always drop one side of the box blade so you can catch and scoop that edge and pull that rock back into your driveway, okay? So we want our driveway to have a crown in it, and that's something that we really have to think about. A natural crown so that water sheds this direction. It doesn't shed right down the middle of the driveway. And I know you guys have seen it. Now take notice. When you're driving down the road, you look down a farm driveway or someone's driveway and you see the wash marks right down where the tires have been. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to prevent that by appropriately crowning our driveway. Now we could do all of this work with a scrape blade, or we could also do this work with just a landscape rake or just the rake on the front of the Ventrac tractor here. If you have an estate, in other words, if you have 5 to 10 acres and you need a maintenance tractor to work around your farm or around your house, that little thing is an absolute beast. So we're gonna get in here and we're gonna start raking it up. I've already been in here raking and stirring gravel. What I wanna do is break it up, get it loose, and get it into the spots where the tire treads were. We're gonna go down and look because we've got mud coming up through the driveway, and that's what we want to avoid. All right, so we're here in the driveway, and this is the problem. This is the situation. See how this is all packed down, and on the edges there's tons of rock right there. It's just going to waste. There's rock on this edge and there's rock on that edge. The goal of this is to rake that rock in and put it back on the place where the tire treads go so it will pack down. Inevitably, it's going to do this again, and it probably does this 3 or 4 times a year depending on how wet it is, and this time of year when it's freezing and thawing is the worst time of year for your driveway. It's taken a huge beating. We bring big heavy trucks in and out of here, tractor trailers in and out of here, and we want to make sure we keep our driveway right. Now the cool thing about using the rake and the box scrape is that you can rake in all this stuff from the outside edges and then take that box scrape back over and smooth it out and dress it out. So we'll do one run with the box scrape kind of on this side and one run with the box scrape kind of on that side. And we'll continue to do that until the driveway is smooth, nice, and ready to go. Now, so you guys know what kind of rock we use. We're in north central North Carolina in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and we use a granite type stone. So this is crush run granite stone with 57, number 57 rock. And that's what you're seeing is piles of number 57s pushed off to the side. If you don't drive on your driveway responsibly and slowly, you'll push this stuff to the side really bad, especially in the turns. And we've got a turn down here that's got a little bit of that going on. I can't stop the FedEx man or the UPS man from going fast on my driveway. That's just the way they move, man. So it'll push rock way out of the driveway. And you can see this turn right here, it's really pushed a lot of rock right there. That's our old farm-all tractor. So that's enough talk. Let's get busy. Again, this is Crush Run. That's some toys we got here. This is some Crush Run rock right here with number 57s, and I found that that is the best rock that compacts well, that works on clay type soils or sandy type soils. It doesn't wash as much as other smaller stones. So that's what I like. Folks, the reason why I'm showing you this is so that you can learn and grow and not make mistakes, not make the mistakes that I've made. So you can learn from me how to do this appropriately and save money. It's a huge, huge deal. I'm gonna back the box scrape up right here. I'm gonna show you exactly how I set it up in order to straighten out this driveway. Then we'll toss the drone up in the air and we'll get you some cool footage of tractors just going to town. Okay, bear with me, we're gonna have a little bit of tractor noise while we're doing this, but I need to keep the tractor running in order to make some quick adjustments. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drop this down almost to the ground and we're gonna level it up. In other words, we want this blade right here to be level with this blade right here. If anything, by the end of this, we want the rear blade to actually be down just a little bit more. But for right now, we're gonna level both of these blades up. We're gonna do that by adjusting the top link here on the tractor. I'll show you. So as you can see right now, we're almost level with the plane of the ground. This blade and this blade are almost level. So I'm gonna slowly bring it down, and whichever one hits first, I'm gonna make an adjustment to my top link. It may already be level here on the tractor, and we may not have to make an adjustment, but I'll show you what we would have to do. Now you see that? It's not touching the ground here, but over here on the inside, it is touching the ground. So we do need to bring our top link out a little bit, and that's the top link here on the tractor. I'll show you as I turn the top link how it drops down and levels itself out. You want to do this on a nice level surface. If you can get out on the blacktop and do this really quickly in a safe environment, then do that. But find the levelest spot, a concrete pad, a flat spot in your driveway, or asphalt. So I want you to see what we're doing here. What we're doing is turning this top link. And this is a handle that we use to turn the top link, and that lengthens it or brings it in a little bit tighter. So we want to lengthen it out just like this until the box blade is completely level, and you'll see that down here when I get the camera down low. Cool? Now, if you're trying to move a lot of material, you'll want the front of the box scrape angled downward just a little bit like that. If you're trying to just drag stuff flat and straight, then you'll actually want the rear of it backed off just like that. So what we'll do is we'll start with it level, and then we'll finish by adjusting it only a minute amount to tilt it back so that it smooths over the driveway when we're done, and we'll show you the finished product. Now you can do this with a scrape blade, and the next time I do the driveway here, come back to the channel, we'll show you how to do this with just a scrape blade that's adjustable. All right, let's get busy working. hard to explain without showing you. Now that you've seen these two rakes in action, let me explain to you what each rake is doing. So the rake on the rear is actually extended out just a little bit further, almost into the grass. Now, the tines on this rake are so gentle that they might pull a little bit of thatch out, but they won't pull turf or sod out into the driveway. So you may see a little bit of thatch in the driveway. It's okay. Couple rainstorms, couple windstorms pounding it down, it'll absolutely go away. Now, you see the steep angle that I have this at right now. It's at a pretty steep angle. We'll go up here and look at the front real quick so you can understand what this one's doing. Now, you don't have to have this. This just saves me a little bit of time because I have the Ventrac here on the farm. So the front rake is actually like a pre-rake. In other words, it's loosening the gravel up, but it's not quite on the edge like the other rake. So it's loosening it up a little bit, and then the other rake kind of pulls it to a finish. Now I'm gonna go up and down through here probably 6 times. 3 times that way and 3 times that way until I pull all that loose gravel up, and then we'll hop on the John Deere. So the reason we're not doing the box scrape right on the edge is because the box scrape will dig into the turf and will pull upside. I wanna get in here gently on the edges and not pull upside, and then I want to come back with the box scrape and work the crap out of the driveway. That's what's up. Now, I did hit the water hose back here. I totally forgot. I've got a water hose ran down to the garden right there, and I hooked it. So be aware of your surroundings or you'll accidentally hook something and then have to buy a new water hose, like me. Let's run this for about another 30 minutes, zipping up and down the driveway. We'll actually get in here and smooth the parking area out, and we'll hop on the John Deere. Right on. So remember all the rock that was on the edges here and here? It's all smack dab in the middle of the driveway now. So all we've got to do is run the box scrape over probably twice to spread this back out, smooth it out entirely, and maintain the crown of the driveway. In other words, we're raking it towards the center, just like we're doing here, in order to maintain a crown. You want your driveway to have a crown so that water washes off this way and that way, not straight down the middle. And you'll notice now that you've seen this video, when you're going down the road looking at people's driveways, you'll notice all the washing and that they're flat as they can be, or that there's a little strip of grass right up through the middle and 2 little rivers every time it rains. That's not what you want. You want a proper crown on your driveway. It should be anywhere between 3 to 5 or 6 inches from the center to the edge. And the highway is the same exact way. If you'll notice, if you move into the left lane, your car will tend to pull to the left. If you move over to the right lane, your car will tend to go straight. The alignment on your car is actually set up to ride in the right-hand lane, so it actually pushes you a little bit to the left. A little something you need to know. So let's get busy with the box scrape. And one thing I forgot to mention, the rippers on the box scrape are also designed to bust up potholes. In other words, if you have a pothole, you just can't throw gravel in it and expect it to go away, or dirt in it and expect it to go away. You got to bust that thing up in the bottom of that pothole. So that's what those rippers are designed to do. You want to put your rippers in the ground about that deep, or depending on how big the pothole is in your gravel road, you want to dig down in there and then pull fresh gravel over it. That way it's all fresh and smooth and consistent all the way around that pothole. Cool? Let's get busy. Perfect timing, guys. And we just had 2 more cows delivered. That's pretty awesome. So we got done with the driveway. I'll show you the end results. It did absolutely awesome. We actually did this area too, smoothed it out just a little bit more. Once we tilted the box scrape back just a little bit, Big Bubba did its job. Again, there'll be a coupon code and a link to all these attachments down in the video description. Here's what we have. Finished product. Absolutely beautiful. We won't have to do this again for probably 4 or 5 months. Typically I do this 3 or 4 times a year. Now we're gonna have a little bit of rock brought out, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, jump in there and subscribe so you can see how we do this with a scrape blade. So we'll show you with the box scrape today, and we'll show you with a scrape blade in case you don't have a box scrape. Okay? Guys, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. I hope you learned a little bit, I hope you're educated, and I hope you have a good time. Remember, take care of your land and it'll take care of you. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge. Woo!